Hey crafters, crocheters, yarn enthusiasts. Today is Saturday, April 23rd, 2022, and my name is Jenny. Welcome back to Granny Square Peg. So you see, I have another blanket for you today. We're calling this one Pink Peony Ripple. Peony? Peony. I don't know. How do you guys say the name of that flower? Yeah, it's a baby blanket. Looks kind of tall right there, but it's not actually all that tall. It is 40 inches wide by 57 inches tall. It's got some lavender, some baby blue, this pink peony color, which is a really bright pink, minty green, and all this creamy white. So let's take her off the bookshelf and we'll sit and go over the details. Okay, so I named it the Pink Peony Ripple, or Peony, depends on how you pronounce it. It was made in 2015, August 18th to August 23rd, 2015. 40 inches wide by 57 inches tall. The pattern is the Neat Ripple from Lucy at Attic 24. You can go look up Attic 24. You'll find Lucy's blog, and on her blog you just look up Neat Ripple and you'll find the pattern for it. I used a number 4 medium weight yarn, and it's 100% acrylic, and my hook was a J or a 6mm, which I actually have that today. Yeah, J 6mm. I used a hook a little bigger than what I would typically do because I wanted my stitches nice and big and nice and loose. I wanted a lot of drape to this blanket. So the yarn I used is mostly Bernat Super Value. Okay, they have this color, this what I call this creamy white, they call it natural, you know, so but it's creamy white. I also used mint from Bernat Super Value. The Peony Pink is from Super Value. And this, they call this Cool Blue. The purple is from Purl Essence. It's the Joann's brand that they discontinued years and years and years ago. Alright, so my initial starting chain. Lucy's pattern calls for multiples of 14, I think. So my initial starting chain is 112, I think. So it's, you know, it's not very wide. It only came in at 40 inches. So 112 plus 3 or 4 for the turning chain. And you see the ripple that goes on here? This is your valley. This is your mountain or your peak. So I did 3 rows of the creamy white, and then 3 rows of the minty green, 3 rows of creamy white. So it's 3 rows of each color to create a color block. And I alternated the creamy white with the next color, then creamy white, then the next color. And I tried to change up when I put the pink in there, but I wanted a, you know, because these are all soft and pastel, I wanted this pink, and I wanted to pop out at you. So there we go. We got our pop of pink in there. So my first 3 rows are the creamy white, and then to the minty green, creamy white again, pink peony, which is, it is really a bright shade of pink. The camera just does not do it justice. And then 3 rows of creamy white, 3 rows of the sky blue, I think it's called. Oh, cool blue. 3 rows of creamy white, 3 rows of lavender or lilac, 3 rows of creamy white, 3 rows of the minty green, 3 rows of the creamy white, And for the ripple, everything is done in a double crochet. You do, when you're down here in the valley, you, let's see if I can see it. You take 2 stitches and turn it into 1, so you decrease to create the valley. And then here, when you're doing the peak, you do 2 double crochet in the same stitch to increase. So there's our blue, 3 more of the creamy white, 3 more rows of the peony pink, creamy white, lavender lilac, creamy white, cool blue, creamy white, the pink, and I ended with the minty green, and then 1 more color block of the creamy white. So after I was done with the double crochets of the ripple, I went through and just did half double crochets in each stitch to finish it off. There is no border on it. It's one of those things where you think the color in the blanket is doing just fine and you don't want to take away from it, so you make sure your edges are nice and neat so you don't have to put a border on there. I think my edges came out pretty good. All my ends, or the yarn tails, are already sewn in or crocheted in, or I used the Russian join so I didn't have to worry about crocheting in any ends. Now, there we go. Nice ripple blanket. It's been in my project pile since 2015, and it's been completely done since then. I have notes where I was using markers to try to plan out my color placement. Right? And then I have notes on where the pattern came. It came from Lucy, Attic 24, Neat Ripple. And then my initial starting chain, I was trying to work out the numbers that I was going to use because I wanted it smaller because I wanted to make a baby blanket. Oh, and then here I have notes to myself because I wanted to try to start selling my blankets, but you got to figure out how much time you spend on them. So 3 rows, which is 1 color block, took me 25 minutes. So you do the math on, I had 23 color blocks, and it came out to 575 minutes, which equals 9.58 hours. So, you know, I spent almost 10 hours on this blanket when you added it all up. So there's that. And then I tried this to keep track of my blanket. Like, I wrote down the colors and did little samples. So this is actually the order of the colors in my blanket. And I just used like a glue stick from when the kids were in school in kindergarten. But you see, it didn't hold up over time. Because I was going to stick this in a notebook so I can keep track of my projects. And I only did this for 1 blanket and not all my blankets. So one of those things where you try it, didn't quite work out for me. Alright, let's take a look at it one more time. What do you guys think? I think it came out beautifully. And it does, you know, using the bigger hook with the 4 medium weight yarn, using the J or the 6mm, it did give the blanket some stretch and some give and some drape to it. So don't be afraid to experiment with hook sizes and to make your stitches bigger or smaller, tighter or looser. Don't be afraid. Just sit down with your hook and your yarn, just do a little sample, little square, and see how it feels. Alright, so how about if I go sit on that side of the camera and we'll sit and talk. Okay, so what do you guys think? I'm making some progress going through my project pile. If I can average 1 blanket a week, it'll take me a little over a year to get through all of it. Oh my goodness. My note-taking system has changed so much over the years. I try so many different ways of taking notes and doing notes on my projects. And nothing ever seems to stick for me. Scribbling notes, that always seems to work for me. So I thought this was a really good idea to plan out color placement. You don't glue it down until after you finalize your color placement, but I thought it was a good idea. But the paper didn't hold up well over time, and neither did the glue. And then the yarn got a little frayed on the edges, so I might actually let that go and not stick it in my notebook this time around. Also, wrote this down with my hook and the yarn I was using, the name of the yarn color that the companies use, and then how many rows, the rows I did. Oh, right. So, like, total, this blanket is the initial starting chain, and then it goes straight into the pattern with the ripple. Rows 1 through 69. Okay, so 69 rows of the ripple, and then row number 70 is the half double crochet. So there's notes for that. Doesn't give you a picture of what the blanket looks like, but you know, it's just, how do you guys do notes on your blankets? Do you do notes on them, or any of your crochet projects or your knitting projects? Do you keep a crafting journal? I've been looking into crafting journals. I've been watching YouTube videos and reading blog posts about creating a crochet journal or a knitting journal. Now, a lot of times those ladies are doing them with when they're making sweaters and shawls and hats and clothing. I haven't seen anybody do it for just blanket making, and that's what I am. I am a blanket maker. So if I come up with anything, I'll let you guys know. So, Bernat Super Value. It is similar to Red Heart Super Saver, but it is softer. But size-wise and the way it's made and the way it's they're very similar. And the pricing is similar. It's 100% acrylic. Let's see, the skein was 7 ounces or 426 yards. I think I just used one skein of the creamy white because that's the only yarn label I have here. Now I do have minty green left over. I do have the pink peony left over. I do have the cool blue left over and the lavender from, but my organization stinks, and when I had to put everything away a year ago, I just threw everything in random bins, boxes, and bags, so I don't know where the leftovers are. But if I come across them, I think they would make a really cute baby blanket. Another one, right? And I actually have the hook that I use this time around. It's a J or a 6mm. The company I use for my hooks is Boy for this one. Okay, pretty big size hook. And I wanted my stitches loose. I wanted a lot of drape to this blanket. So, and I think it worked out well for me because the G and the H are my favorite size hook. So, but I do experiment with other hooks. I like to try things out to see how they would work out for me. So yeah, my initial starting chain was 112 plus. I actually do not have too much to say about this baby blanket. It's a blanket. I made it. To me, it's nothing special. It's just double crochets, and they are easy peasy. The ripple pattern is easy once you get your initial starting rows, and it's just a repeat of the pattern all the way through. Changing colors is not that hard. So yeah, this is just something I did because I was probably bored, and I don't actually have too much to say about it. It's another blanket that's in my pile that has been done. I made it in 2015. It's been done since 2015, and it has just been moved around from spot to spot to spot in my house because I don't know how to let things go when I'm done with them. And I was too afraid to learn how to sell things on the internet. The pricing is hard for handmade goods. Nobody wants to pay you for your time or what you're worth. You know, I put in 10 hours in on this blanket. You know, who wants, even if you charge people $10 an hour, you know, I mean, who wants to spend $100 on a baby blanket that, you know, the yarn, it doesn't last forever. It's not an heirloom. It's meant to be used. It will fall apart at some point, but who wants to spend that kind of money on it? So, I don't know, crocheting and then selling it, it's a hard thing to do. I mean, we're really rough on our blankets here in the house. They do not, and I've made blankets since I was 15 years old. They do not stand the test of time. So, I don't know how other people actually sell their stuff and make money off of it. And then there's the cost of the yarn. I did have it in my notes. I spent roughly $30 on the yarn. Did I use all of it? No. I do have leftovers of the minty green, the cool blue, the lavender, and the pink peony. I do have leftovers, but I initially spent $30 on yarn. So who wants to spend $130 on a blanket for a baby? And you know how rough babies are on blankets. So yeah, I'm frustrated with that. I know. And I guess this isn't supposed to be a video about ranting and raving and about selling things online. So that's my blanket. Okay, so to be honest with you, there is a lot of feeling and thoughts and emotions that go into crocheting. Just in the process of making something, and then when you're done with it. There is emotion that goes along with it. And somebody like me, I suffer from mental illness to begin with. Depression and anxiety are very much a big part of my life, and they have been for a very long time. So it's very hard to sit here in front of the camera and muster up some excitement over a blanket I made 7 years ago that I can't, for some reason I couldn't let go of. And I want to share this journey with you. That's why I'm doing this crochet channel. Crocheting is not easy. The physical act of crocheting is absolutely easy. I can crochet with my eyes closed, my hands tied behind my back, and in my sleep. That's how easy it is for me, because I've been doing it for so long. I was 9 years old when my lesson started. I'm 50 years old today, so 41 years, okay? So I can crochet without even thinking about it. I can sit on the couch with the TV on in the background, not even look at the TV, not even look at what I'm crocheting, and still get it done, right? So some things are very simple and very easy for me, and they don't require a lot of thought. This blanket did not require a lot of thought. I have fun with color placement because I love playing with color, yes. But to look at it now, 7 years later, I can't fake the excitement about it because I'm also very frustrated. It has been sitting around in my project pile for so long. Okay, does that make any sense to you guys? And I'm not trying to bring anybody down. I'm just, this is what it's like for me. It is time to let this blanket go. It is time to sell it on the internet. And I can't worry about the hours I spent making it because nobody is going to pay me my worth, what my value is, because I do have a lot of experience, okay? Am I an expert? I don't know. I could be towing a line at it. Who knows? But I do know what I'm doing, and I've had a lot of years of experience, but nobody's going to pay me for that. And people don't even want to pay the cost of supplies. Nobody's going to want to pay $30 for the blanket. You know, people look at it and be like, I'll give you $10 for it. Yeah, okay, whatever. So it's very hard sometimes to get to these end of these videos. Like my last blanket with the Karen Simply Soft, I absolutely loved it. And I still love it today because it's such a riot and chaos of color. And I love it. But this one, it's just your standard run-of-the-mill baby blanket, and I can't fake that. So the yarn from Bernat Super Value for this one is actually very soft. It was okay to work with. I enjoyed it, but that's it. So the blanket is done. And if you guys want it, let me know. You can have it because I'm done with it. Just leave a comment down below. Sorry this video is all over the place with the emotions. That's just how it is for me today. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. See if you can find the yarn ball emoji. They need to make it a little blanket, a little knit blanket emoji. That would be fun, right? As you can see, you know, my last two videos, what was in random yarn bin number 6. Oh my goodness. Well, I filmed the video and I uploaded it and you guys have watched it. I'm actually still trying to find a home for all the stuff in the bin and to separate it and organize it before I go grab the next random yarn bin that's sitting behind you. Let me know what you guys want my next video to be. Do you want to see another random yarn bin full of yarn? Do you want to see some more of my pattern books that I have and crochet magazines that I have? Or do you want to see some more of the blankets that I've made? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. And I will see you guys later. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. He's such a good boy. He's such a good boy.